What do you get when you mix Adele with Mozart or Deep Purple with Beethoven? The answer is Singapore's very own The Vox Experiment. This classically trained string quartet is putting a new spin to music by mashing up pop and rock numbers with classical music. And they will be holding their first concert at the Esplanade Recital Studio on 27 April.
So the Vox Experiment is a bit like a giant mashup of like things that we like, but also a mashup of kind of music from different genres and from different styles. So I think it's a bit like an experiment just because we kind of knew we wanted to mash things up, but we wouldn't really know how it sounds. It was a lot of experimenting with different sounds. So like even for example, like figuring out what would mesh quite well with Mozart or like what would mesh quite well with Nirvana. That was kind of a bit of a trial and error. I guess that's why it's a Vox experiment. But I guess the biggest challenge is when you actually fuse them together. Because I guess a lot of what we're trying to do is not just simply like Adele, switch to Mozart, switch back to Adele. A lot of it's a bit like Adele, Mozart, Adele, Mozart, Adele, Mozart, if that makes sense. So that requires a lot of kind of meshing and trying and making sure that things fit.
According to the band, pop and rock are not the only genres of music they've been exploring.
We are always constantly exploring new collaboration, like with DJs, and we even tried at 1 year to do even like a canto pop kind of stuff. So anything that is new and which kind of cling to our taste, and we feel that it's something that nobody has tried before. We will always try to explore.
Despite being classically trained, the quartet is comfortable being labelled crossover musicians.
I think she was probably like one of the pioneers for crossover music, and also with Nigel Kennedy. What they both did was they actually infused classical pieces, the very well-known classical pieces, with rock beats, with techno beats, with pop beats, whatever it is. I think that was really the very first style of crossover music that classical musicians actually did. And then I think it moved on, especially recently, to things like the two cellos, for example. And what they did was actually to start playing pop music on their classical instruments. And I think what we're doing now is basically a combination of the two. We play not only the classical music, we've done like Toccata and Fugue together with the rock beats, but we've also done our cover pieces as well, which is what Vox has been doing since its inception. So I think it's time to move on to a new platform to basically combine the both of them, the both genres, the both crossover genres in that sense, and basically marry it with each other. So we tried the whole imposition thing, and I think it worked really well. Yeah.
So what can we expect at the upcoming concert at the Esplanade?
For this concert, we have never tried fusing classical pieces with pop pieces, so this is something very new for us. Although you probably would have heard a few bands out there having tried that before, but I believe in locally, not many people have done that before.
So what's next after the Esplanade?
I think we definitely hope to go at least regional, if not international, global that is. Quite looking forward to opportunities to perform overseas other than in Singapore. I think it will bring our music to other shores would be quite a big thing for us, and I think it will also be quite a big thing for people around the world to start recognizing that perhaps music may not necessarily be categorized, and that you can't really force it into little boxes and label them, but it's really a whole new world of creativity, of exploring. Yeah.